Manila is investigating reports that some of our kababayans in the territory have been fired from work after they caught the virus. Joining us now from Hong Kong is Consul General Raly. Congen, thank you so much for joining us. Is it confirmed, Congen, that Filipino workers are being fired because they're COVID-19 positive?
Well, it was a phenomenon last week, but it has already stopped since we issued a stern warning to employers not to do it. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the surge last week, we saw at least 3 to 5 Filipinos being terminated by their employers simply because they were COVID positive. This is unlawful since under the employment ordinance of Hong Kong, it is illegal to fire an employee when they are sick.
So, Congen, when these 3 to 5 kababayans who are working in Hong Kong were fired, were they left out in the cold by their employers because they tested positive? They were just basically fired and asked to pack their bags and leave their apartments?
Well, basically, that was what happened. They were told to go straight to the hospital with all their belongings. And unfortunately, this included other Filipinos who had nowhere to go because either they missed their flights after they tested positive or those that were staying in dormitories, but sadly, they were kicked out by their dorm mates. They all proceeded to hospitals to seek medical help, but ended up waiting for a very, very long time as hospitals were actually full to the brim and close to breaking point. May I point out that the unfortunate experience of waiting outside hospitals also extended to Hong Kong residents and other nationalities. But it's just that the severity and the magnitude of the fifth wave took everyone by surprise.
And so, Congen, these OFWs who are COVID positive, how many of them have they approached? How many of them have approached the Philippine consulate in Hong Kong?
Our numbers state there were about 41 of them that got infected, but 28 of them we were able to endorse to isolation centers. The others were actually admitted by the Hong Kong system under its quarantine system.
So, Congen, who is paying for the bills of our kababayans who were not employed and in medical facilities with COVID-19?
Well, Hong Kong has assured us that they will treat all nationalities, including Filipinos who are infected with COVID-19 for free.
Well, that's good news, Consul General, no? And with all of these OFWs who have been fired by their employees, by their employers, what is the penalty for the employers who fire and kick out our kababayans, and will the recruitment agency also be penalized?
Well, basically, this is a personal act of the employers. So definitely we could do a blacklisting that immediately can be done. But if we prove after investigation that they really erred and they illegally dismissed their employees, a case can be filed with the labor tribunal and they could be liable to a penalty of up to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars.
And what else, Congen, are you doing to help our kababayans in Hong Kong?
Basically, I believe the worst is over for our nationals because they went to the hospital not knowing that the hospitals were full. That's why there was this confusion and panic. But now everything is organized because Hong Kong has already sent out the guidelines for everyone who tests positive. All they need to do is call the hotline of the Hong Kong Hospital Authority, which is 1-836-115, and they will be treated and taken to hospitals or to isolation centers. Whatever treatment that they need, they will be given. And for those who need to isolate, actually, they can isolate at home. If they don't feel anything, if they're asymptomatic, or if they have mild symptoms, they can stay at home. And they can treat themselves at home with supervision of the doctors after they call the hotline.
And Congen, are there OFWs who want to be repatriated back to the Philippines because of the current situation in Hong Kong?
Oh, we have not actually received any requests for repatriation. So our assumption is that they wish to remain and work in Hong Kong.
Thank you so much for sharing with us the current situation of our OFWs in Hong Kong, Consul General Raly Tejada.